All right, rebels, welcome to the beginning of something different. This is Podcasters Business Insider, the daily show where creators stop playing small and start building like business owners. Here, we don't chase downloads for vanity. We build systems, strategies, and shows that actually pay the bills. If you've ever felt like you're stuck recording into the void, wondering if your podcast will ever grow into more than just a hobby, this is where the guesswork ends because you're not just a podcaster, you're a founder, a strategist, a builder. And together, we're going to turn your mic into a media empire. So, buckle up, pod rebels. Clarity beats chaos, strategy beats hustle, and momentum beats perfection. Let's get into it. Let me just put my phone here on mute. I don't want any distractions. Today's episode, we're going to be talking. It may seem a little bit of a refresher this week for what we were talking about last week, but I'm doing this on purpose because this is the foundation of everything that we're going to be working on when it comes to TechForge Media and you. Because this it's just that important. Now, we're going to talk into the difference between why podcasts skyrocket and those that stall. Plus, we're going to also get into two media stories that are shaping the creator world this week. Let's get into with the news segment. So, the first article that we're going to be highlighting and focusing on today, I found, and where did I find it? The article's name is Creator Fund backs Woodworking founder. The headline is Slow Ventures cuts first check of $60 million creator fund into Woodworking founder. I actually found this on their website, Slow Ventures. Why this matters. Big capital is flowing into the creator economy, backing niche skills, not just mainstream influencers. This signals more funding opportunities for podcasters with unique expertise and audience trust. My take on this is simple. Don't underestimate the value of a well-defined niche. We've talked about this extensively last week, and we are going to talk about it extensively this week. This is how important it is to niche down. The way that I was taught to niche was once it starts to hurt, that's where your niche is. If it doesn't hurt enough, saying I can't do this, this niche is too small, that's where your focus is. When you're hyper focused on your niche, that's where the dollar bills come in. That's where your expertise and your speciality comes in. So, and investors and sponsors, they look at that and they're increasingly betting on creators with specialized skills and engaged communities. So when you can niche down to a specific person and you have built a small community. Remember last week we talked about Jeremy Ennis, who had 350 to 500 subscribers and he's making over $1,000 a month. Actually, he was making more than that. I think we were talking about he was making more than that. When you can narrow down your niche, that's where the magic happens. My niche is not as narrow as I would like it to be honest with you. And it's really, really narrow. Why? Because it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt enough. And in order for you to find that right niche, it needs to hurt, saying, I can't do this, is not going to happen. I'll be lucky if I get one person listening. So, and this is another proof. This is yet another article, which the link is in the show notes. I'm trying to do better here, folks. It's been a week. Well, I'll get there. But read the article. It's really, really, really good article. Really open your eyes. It will really hopefully it'll open up your eyes to see how important having a well-defined, narrow niche really is and what it can do for you. So when your niche starts to hurt and you say, I can't do this, this is too small, that's where you stop. Otherwise, keep niching down, keep coming down, keep narrowing that focus. You need to be hyper-focused in order for you to do anything. So moving on. Article number 2, nonprofit news meets local TV. Headline, Can nonprofit news work on local TV? A Pennsylvania partnership aims to find out. So why does this matter? Collaborations between nonprofit newsrooms and local broadcasters could bring deeper mission-driven reporting to mass audiences. For podcasters, it's proof that partnerships can extend reach without compromising values. My take on this, I have in the past and currently as early as yesterday have been thinking about creating ads to put out in Toronto news media. The problem is I don't really agree with the Toronto media at all in any shape, way, or form. There is one radio station that I do agree with, and that is in the United States. Their values. And this is very important. If your values don't line up with your partners or potential partners, my suggestion is just don't even offer it. Save yourself the headache. Your views have to be in alignment with who you partner with for many, many, many reasons, people. You can't, if you're conservative, it will be very difficult for you to stay in a relationship with a liberal news media outlet. Or if you're a liberal, it will be very difficult for you to be in alignment with the values of a conservative news outlet. So you need to make sure that you're speaking to the right people. Now, my avatar is, like I said, is a very unique person. He will listen to specific things in specific places. He won't be listening to the CBC. Doesn't care about what's going on at the CBC. He'll be more interested in what's going on with Fox News or Rebel News or whatever. That's my avatar. Your avatar could be in alignment with what's happening on at the CBC. So that could be somewhere where you could place an ad. And I checked that they're not that expensive. It's like they range anywhere from $1 to $500. No, sorry, excuse me, $1,000. So, I mean, it's relatively inexpensive. Now, the other thing that you have to look at is how many people are going to be listening. to your ad at any given time. That is also a big question mark. Remember, you don't don't care about. It's not important to be curious about how many downloads you get. What you want is you want the right ears and the right eyes to be looking at your content. That's what you want. When you have the wrong eyes looking at your content, well, you're going to be left with empty pockets. So if you align yourself as a conservative, put your stuff out on conservative news outlets. If you align yourself as a liberal, put your stuff out on a liberal outlet. Make it sense for the people that you want to speak to. That's why I've been fighting with myself. There is one news outlet that I am thinking about right now here in Toronto, because I can see my avatar being there. I can see him being there. So it's a potential. It's a potential. But the whole idea is try to look for unconventional partnerships to amplify your podcast's message. Think beyond other podcasters to local news, community organizations, and niche media. But remember, your message has to be able to speak to them. If they think that you are a bigot, don't put it there. Right now, you're not interested in that kind of stuff. You need the right ears and the right eyes looking and listening to your message that speaks to them. Later on, when your podcast blows up and you have hundreds of thousands of downloads every episode, then by all means, get controversial and start posting your stuff on the other side. You'll blow up even more. But for now, like all you guys that are watching and you're looking at this stuff, hyper focused, quadruple down on that avatar. And if that avatar doesn't hurt, thinking to yourself, there's no one that's going to listen to this. If you don't have that doubt in your head, keep niching down until you do. Trust me. You don't want to go too far out too early. All right. This episode, we're going to be talking about why some podcasts blow up and others flatline. This is going to be a little bit of a regurgitation of what we had on last Monday, but last week we just launched. So it wasn't technically a live. It was a recorded. It was a recording. So I'm going to do the actual live today. Success has pattern, and so does failure. For a long time, I was falling myself into a failure pattern. And it was very hard. Again, when I launched the Fitness Oracle, I had great intentions. I wanted to reach out men who were suffering from depression, and I wanted to show them that, they're not alone. 2, it's easy to get out. Well, I mean, it's not easy to get out of depression, but it's easier than they think. And you will get out of it. And 3, all you have to do is just stay active. Get yourself active. Get yourself out there. And I brought on guests and to talk about their services and stuff and how they help men get out of depression. Notice I did something there. We'll get into that later on down the road, but that's important too. You don't pay me, you're not going to get advertised. Sorry. Just doesn't happen. Anyways, so the pattern of failure wasn't the fact that I was not trying to do a good thing for people. The failure pattern came in when money started to get involved. I was doing this as a quote unquote charity. The problem with charity is that if you don't have money coming in, the charity is going to flop. I never asked for money. I never asked for a dime from anybody. Now, my guests, and for me to ask people, I felt like I was begging, and it drove me nuts, and it drove me into the poorhouse. It really did. So my bad relationship with money got me into a downward spiral. That was my failure. I never took the Fitness Oracle as a business. I only started to look at the Fitness Oracle as a business, I'd say a year and a half into it. That's when I really started to think about it as a business. One second, guys. That's a little distracting. I get squirrel brain. Okay, leave me alone. And that's the one thing that I promised myself that would change if I were to start up podcasting again. Podcaster's Business Insider is a business. The outcome of this podcast is to make profit. And if any of you have a problem with that, well, I'll tell you right now, I have 11 subscribers. We're up in subscriptions, which is fantastic. But if any of you have a problem with this becoming a business, please unsubscribe yourself. End of story. I'm not going to make any apologies for it. This is a business, and I'm trying to run it as a business. And I will not apologize for it. Not even a little bit. That's the difference. Will this become a success? Time will tell. I don't know. I hope it does. I really do. I'm working at it as it will make money. But will it make money in a year from now? Time will tell. I think that is a fair assessment. But I will work at this as a business and with profit margins in the back of my head. That's how I'm going to be. That's how I'm running it. So 3 common traits of a fast-growing podcasts. It's the other stuff that I want to talk about. 3 common traits. Sharp audience clarity. They know exactly who they're speaking to. I don't know how many more times I need to harp this down. You need to speak to a person, not to a group of people. Who has more success? One-on-one coaching or I'm gonna put myself out there. A live band that's playing on a stage in front of thousands of people. Who will have more success? Both of them don't know anybody. My money is on the one-on-one coaching. The coach will make more money than the live band. Live band will get exposure, but the one-on-one coaching right now is going to make a little bit of dough. And you can turn that dough into bigger things. Joe Rogan is a bad example. so I won't use him. Joe Rogan is a bad example. The reason why I say Joe Rogan is a bad example is because when Joe Rogan started podcasting, he was already famous. And he already had a bank account, a thick bank account when he started the Joe Rogan Experience. He already finished with the Fear Factor. He already finished with a couple of other stuff in his comedy. So, I mean, he was already Joe Rogan before the Joe Rogan Experience. That's why he's a bad example. You can't use Joe Rogan. Somebody who you can use is John Lee Dumas, Brian Rose. Oh, Jesus, what was his name? Jordan Harbinger. Yeah, they've been at it for forever. These guys, they have been at podcasting forever. But they didn't start talking out to everybody. They started talking to a person. From what I hear from Entrepreneurs on Fire, because I listen to Entrepreneurs on Fire, is John Lee Dumas still talks to that one person. I don't know personally Brian Rose from London Real. I've taken a couple of his courses. He's trained me in doing podcasting. He still speaks to that one person. Doesn't speak to everybody. He speaks to everybody, but he's only talking to one person. Jordan Harbinger, I met him virtually once a couple years ago. He still speaks to one person. He made fun of me, but I deserved it, and that's okay. We all got a laugh out of it. So did I. I thought it was hilarious. Just because they speak to a larger audience doesn't mean that they're not speaking to that one person. They are. Trust me, they are. Number 2, strong narrative and niche angle. It's not just another interview show. So now you've narrowed down your niche. Now it's time to bring guests on. But if you're a business podcast, do you bring on nannies? If you're a business podcast that is, I'm taking my podcast, for example, Podcaster's Business Insider. Do you bring on who I'm speaking to, a very specific person, which is an IT professional who's interested in podcasting, but doesn't know how to make it into a side hustle? I need to narrow that down even more. Believe it or not, I do. Would I bring on a nanny? She has a business. Maybe a successful business. Maybe she has a school. Do I bring her on? No. Why? Doesn't fit. Where's the IT aspect in it? It's not there. So why would I bring on a nanny? Would I bring on a health and wellness professional? No. No. Would I bring on a health and wellness specialist who has an online business? Yes. What's the difference? One works solely in a gym. The other one understands technology and systems and building a business from nothing into a virtual atmosphere. Does that fit my avatar? Yeah, it does. It does. Would I bring him on? Yeah, I would. Would I bring on a businessman who bootstrapped his business from nothing and now he's a multi-conglomerate corporation? Yeah, definitely I would. I want to know what the secrets are. How did you get there? What did you do? Share that with the audience. Do you understand now who you bring on and who you don't bring on? If they can't speak to you, not me, you, I bring my guests on so you can benefit. I benefit indirectly with my conversation with them because podcasting is a learning experience. I don't care how you shake it, which way you shake it. Podcasting, you are always learning something new. But the best part about it is that you can apply it to your own practice, whatever that may be. So, yeah, you need that strong narrative and you need that niche angle. I would prefer go with a niche angle in the beginning and then focus on the narrative after. Remember, who are you doing this podcast for? Are you doing this podcast for yourself? Well, then your niche is you. So that's fine. That's fine. I mean, if it is, that's totally okay as well. But if it's to a larger audience, remember that the guests that you bring on there, it's for your guest. It is for you, but it more for your guests. And number 3, the third common trait of fast growing podcasts: consistent distribution strategy. This is one thing that I love doing. I haven't implemented yet because all my days and time during the days focused right now on the workflow to onboard guests. It's a little complicated for me, but normally it's really easy because, like I said, I've taken what I've built off of the Fitness Oracle. I'm just trying to automate it right now, so I don't have to do any of the manual stuff. Any manual stuff I'm trying to get rid of, and it's a little bit of a headache right now. Plus payment structures. Oh no, that's another headache. All day yesterday, I broke a golden rule yesterday. And this is important for all of us. Don't burn yourself out. It's easy to burn yourself out. If you have a scheduled day off, you take it. If your mind is going a million miles a minute and your scheduled day off is Sunday, and you're like, okay, I'm just going to go hop on the computer and I'll just bang out this next system and I'll just leave it at that. You're going to be on there for all day. I was on the computer. Yesterday is my scheduled day off. I'm not supposed to work on Sundays. I was on my computer all day. And in the end, I was so tired that I think I broke something. And now the Calendly is not working. So today, I was over there before I hopped on and read a couple articles, those 2 articles. And the second I'm done this live, I'm going back on there. I'm going to drink my drink, have a bowl of chips, and just relax. I'm not going to be thinking about anything to do with Tech Forge Media or Podcasters Business Insider or anything else. I didn't do it yesterday. I'm doing it today because this needs to rest. That's part of your distribution strategy. Believe it or not, it is. Some other things that you can do for the distribution strategy is repurpose old content and promote like a media company. So basically, you need to have, I was doing this with the Fitness Oracle through Telegram. I had this system where old episodes would come back into the group as a promotion. So I would do my rule was 3 6 9 12. 3 hours, 6 hours, 9 hours, 12 hours. 3 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 days, 3 days, 6 days, 9 days, 12 days. Then 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 9 weeks, 12 weeks. Then 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. 3, 6, 9, 12. That was my golden rule. I'm going to be doing it with this stuff too. I don't know about the live streams because the live streams are Monday to Friday. We'll see. We'll see how things go. I still have to figure out how I'm going to create clips and repurpose that stuff. But right now, like I said, like today, I'm not doing anything. No, I'm going to finish this live. I'm going to hop on that couch over there and I'm going to watch that TV over there and have a bowl of chips and my drink and I'm good for today. But I think come next month, September, I'm going to start looking at how I'm going to start repurposing content and creating shorts, YouTube shorts, is it YouTube shorts? YouTube shorts and Instagram reels. And I have to come up with a system. If you can come up with a system, you have taken out all the guesswork into what you need to do in the future. If you can remove that guesswork, it's the most stress relieving thing that you can do because all you have to do is just go over the steps. Remember, we talked about this with Trello and Notion on last Wednesday and how Trello and Notion can actually help you schedule everything. So you have your calendar and you have all your stuff. You can't see it, but I have a calendar over there, over on that wall. And I have everything that's supposed to be going with Podcasters Business Insider. Next month, I'm going to have Control Alt Elite. And I think that's it. I think that those are all the podcasts. And Underdog Media is going to kick off in October. And then November, we have the kickoff for Patreon. So the best thing that you can do for yourself is come up with a strategy, a system of how you're going to distribute your content and keep it consistent. Now, old podcast episodes, if they're over a year old, there's no rule that you can't bring them back. I used to have this one thing called Throwback Thursdays, where I would bring back an old episode from the Fitness Oracle. I may do that again, but I need to wait for the future. 2 years from now. Actually, I'll probably kick that off 6 months come September. Throwback Thursdays. So we come back and we revisit one episode that we talked about, that we had in the beginning. Really good because it helps build not just your equation and the algorithm and YouTube. It helps refresh new listeners to old content that you had that they may have missed. Because remember, when they're going through the list here on YouTube, on iTunes, on Spotify, on wherever, iHeartMedia, wherever you watch your podcast episodes or listen to them, you always get the top 10 to 20. Well, what if you've been podcasting for a year? You have 52 episodes. If you've been doing it consistently for 1 year straight, one a week straight, you have 52 episodes. What about the first 10? 20. It's kind of good for them to listen because it makes them feel like they're like OG kind of thing. So come up with, basically what I'm trying to say is try to figure out a system like I had, the 3, 6, 9, 12, which I'm going to be using for this. And you go hours, days, weeks, months, years. I mean, if you plan on doing this for the next 20 years, then yeah, why not? So try to come up with some kind of strategy that makes sense to you. Now, 3 traits of a flatlining podcast. Content is generic or meandering. If you're talking to everyone, you're talking to no one. Let me repeat that because it's super, super, super important. If you're talking to everyone, you're speaking to no one. You are shouting in the woods with no one to hear. Your content is, if it's too generic, it'll just become white noise. It will become white noise. Inconsistent posting. I'm having trouble speaking today, so forgive me. Or long gaps. Inconsistency in podcasting is it'll kill you. It will kill you. I've had bouts with a fitness oracle, a month without publishing an episode. Why do you think I'm doing 5 episodes Monday to Friday, 1 episode Monday to Friday? And come September, we're going to be doing long form video every week, or at least I'm going to be pushing to do every week. Specific reason for that, because consistency, you get into the habit of doing stuff. I didn't want to come on the camera today. I wanted to sit on my couch all day and just drink my pop and eat my chips and watch TV, watch The Office. I dragged my butt here so I can do this. Not just for you, but for me too, because it keeps me in line with stuff. Now, I did a bozo move, like I said earlier, and I worked yesterday when I wasn't supposed to work. So I guess I'm a little bit stuck. But consistency is key. You want to limit the amount of long gaps that you have between episodes or lives and episodes. So you don't want that. If you say you're going to do a presentation, let's take work for example. If you tell your boss I'm going to do a presentation on next Monday at 2 p.m. and you decide to do it 3 Mondays later, what's going to happen to you? Exactly. You're not going to have a job for too long if you keep doing that. Same thing with this. If you tell your audience, we will be live tomorrow at 9 a.m. or 9 a.m. and you show up 3 days later at 8 p.m. and then you tell them, oh yeah, we'll be on tomorrow for 9 a.m. You show up a week later at 2 p.m. What's going to happen? People are going to stop watching. People are going to stop coming to you. I know I need to do better. Life gets in the way sometimes. Thursdays I have a networking event. So Thursdays will be a late show. But the Monday through Friday, except for Thursdays, we will be on 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. That is a promise I made to myself. That's a promise I'm making to you. And no clear CTA or conversion path. Conversion paths are important. What I've spent right now, reason why I've spent so long on this conversion, on the onboarding path for my guests, is because it is a conversion path for my guests to go from I don't know who you are to you and I are going to be business partners for the next 20 years. It has taken me 2 weeks and it keeps breaking. And I'm getting more white because of it. More white here, more white here. But this is probably the most critical. And then I'm working on a second critical conversion path, which is for you. And if you think you're not going to be in a conversion path, think again. My newsletter is the beginning of a conversion path. It has to be. So always remember, how am I going to make money off of the subscribers that I have? Because that's what it is, man. And it's not just, let me clarify this, because it seems like really, really, really sleazy, and it's not. It's like, I want to provide value for the person who is watching, who has taken their time to hit that bell button to subscribe, or the person who has left messages, comments. How can I provide extra value for your email, for $5, for $15 a month, for a program? How can I give you more value? Say, whoa, that was a lot of stuff that you gave me. But you won't know that unless you have that conversion path in place, one, and a clear call to action in order to lead them from one place to another. It's called the customer journey. And it's a great thing to really dig deep into, especially if you're a content creator. It's one of the most important things. If you see a piece of content on Instagram, an Instagram post, my brain goes, okay, that was kind of funny, but what are they trying to sell? Where's this going to lead me? Because there's always a customer path when it comes to these things. So, 3 things that I want you to take from today's episode. I want you to run a why me? A why me test. Can you explain in one sentence why your ideal listener would pick your show? One sentence. Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. I want to read them. 2. I was going to say 2. I'm having a rough day today. 2. Audit your last 3 episodes. Did you have a clear audience, theme, and a CTA? Your episode should have a customer journey, from an introduction to somebody that they haven't met or a tool that they don't know about. What is the topic that you guys are going to talk about, or what are you going to talk about? And at the end, how does your CTA tie into what you just talked about? It should be crystal clear from beginning, from the first words out of your mouth to the last words out of your mouth. Crystal clear. And 3, commit to a repurposing plan. 1 clip, 1 quote, 1 share, 1 share per episode every single week. Work with a big plan and then go with a 1 clip, 1 quote, 1 share per week. So, speaking of CTAs, if you're ready to stop guessing and start growing, subscribe to the Rebel Intel newsletter. Every other week, you'll get deep dives like this, plus tools, trends, and strategies to grow your show with purpose. Just click the link below. More importantly, click the thumbs up for me, please. It helps. It helps us. It helps us know you're out there, and just helps us. And subscribe, please subscribe. If you have, tell your friends and family about this. If you know anybody who's interested in podcasting, this is the show that will help phase out all the nonsense that's out there. And there is a lot of nonsense. Trust me, I've read so many books on this. It's just everything is the same regurgitated stuff. You will get unregurgitated stuff here. Tomorrow's Toolbox Tuesday. And we're going to dive into the best growth tools to automate marketing without losing your voice or mind. Until then, I will see you guys tomorrow, and you guys have an awesome day. Awesome rest of your day. See you guys.